Disney Princess Bedtime Stories. Beauty and the Beast, the Bedtime Story. Read by your Nana. The sun was setting over the Beast Castle. Outside, the world was snowy and cold. But inside, Belle felt quite cozy. Though she wouldn't have believed it possible when she first arrived, Belle was enjoying her time here. She had spent the last few days outside, taking her horse Philippe on strolls and even having snowball fights with the Beast. Somehow, against all odds, Belle was coming to think of the castle as home. Belle watched through her window as the Beast walked Philippe to the stables. Pausing, he gave the horse an awkward, but kind, pat with his large paw. There is more to him than meets the eye, Belle thought. Suddenly, Chip bounced in. "Belle, Belle," he called, "it's story time." Now, Chip," Mrs. Potts said, coming in behind her son. "You must wait for Belle to offer to read you a story. Perhaps she is tired and wishes to go to bed." "I'm all right," Belle replied, smiling. She'd gotten into the habit of reading bedtime stories with her new friends, and she'd been looking forward to it all day. "Let's go down to the library." "Yippee!" Chip cried as he bounced out of the room. Lumiere and Cogsworth were already in the library when the trio arrived. The pair had pulled Belle's favorite chair close to the crackling fire. A warm blanket rested over the back, and a thick book with a worn leather cover sat on the seat. "I thought perhaps we could read this one tonight," Cogsworth suggested, pointing at the book. Lumiere peered at the cover. "Hamlet's Through the Ages, a detailed history of headwear," he read aloud. "Ah, no, there must be some excitement, some drama, perhaps some l'amour." "Let's read an adventure story, one with big scary monsters," Chip exclaimed. "Nothing too scary, love," Mrs. Potts said gently. "You don't want to have nightmares." Belle thought for a moment, her eyes skimming the colorful spines that lined the walls around them. Everyone wanted to read something so different. How would she find a story to make everyone happy? Then Belle had an idea. "Why don't we make up our own bedtime story tonight?" she suggested. "Our own story?" Chip asked, excited. "Yes," Belle clapped her hands. "We'll go around in a circle and each add a line or two. It'll be fun." "A marvelous idea, dear," Mrs. Potts said. "Magnifique," Lumiere agreed. "Quite," Cogsworth added. And so the friends gathered around the fire, eager to begin. Everyone insisted that Belle go first. "Okay," she agreed. She thought for a moment and then began. "Once upon a time, there was a knight named Sir Allard. Sir Allard was a noble and brave man. Wherever he went, he rode up on his trusty steed." She smiled, thinking of Philippe. "Did they fight dragons?" Chip shouted, bouncing eagerly. Belle laughed at the teacup. "Why don't you go next and tell us?" Sir Allard went on lots of adventures. He fought big, scary dragons and saved lots of princesses, Chip said. People came to his castle from all over to ask for his help. "Ooh, I believe I had something to add," Cogsworth said. "Wonderful," Belle said encouragingly. Sir Allard's castle was of the concentric variety, a vast improvement on the Motte and Bailey castle. The concentric design was a combination of the shell keep and the rectangular keep. It had many lines of defense in the form of multiple stone walls. The stone that was used was particularly interesting. Cogsworth paused as he noticed Lumiere gesturing for him to finish his part. "Well, yes, I suppose that was a few lines," Cogsworth sputtered. "You gave us great details about the setting," Belle said kindly. "Lumiere, would you like to continue?" "But of course," the candelabrum said. One day, our hero, Sir Allard, heard about a ferocious dragon, and as all brave knights know, where there is a dragon, there is often a princess. And so, dreaming of rescuing the princess and finding true love, Sir Allard set off to find the dragon. Soon he found himself in an enchanted forest, a forest that was so dreadfully dark that he could not see. "Oh," said Mrs. Potts, "I know what happens next." As Sir Allard's eyes adjusted, he saw something large resting in the distance, Mrs. Potts said. It appeared to be the dragon, but the creature didn't look like the knight thought he would. In fact, he looked a bit sad. "What did he do, Mamma?" Chip asked. "Well, now, I've had my turn, Chip," Mrs. Potts said. "We've all had our turns," Cogsworth exclaimed. "Who will finish the tale?" Suddenly a cough came from just outside the library door. The group turned to see the beast standing in the doorway. He had been listening to their story the whole time. "Hello," Belle called. "Would you care to come in and help us finish the story?" "No," the beast said gruffly, turning to leave. "I wouldn't know what to say." "Ah, you can do it," Lumiere said. "It's easy," Chip added. "Please," Belle said, motioning for him to come sit next to her. "All right." The beast strode over and sat next to Belle. "Well, I thought that maybe, I don't know, this is ridiculous," he said, fidgeting nervously. Belle put her hand on his paw and smiled encouragingly. He looked at it and then tried again. The knight saw that the dragon was upset and lonely, so Sir Allard talked to him, and something very unlikely happened. The two of them became, well, friends. The end. The room was quiet for a moment. Then everyone began to speak all at once. "Très bien," Lumiere exclaimed. "Splendid, sir," Cogsworth cried. "Very well done indeed," Mrs. Potts said. "Yes," Belle said. "That was a wonderful bedtime story." She smiled at the beast, who seemed to keep surprising her with the most perfect ending. I hope you enjoyed another princess story. I'll read to you again soon. I love you so very much.